Welcome to Covered in Pet Hair, a boozy show for pet lovers on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a founder who is celebrating a milestone. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I have the pleasure of having a drink and a chat with a pet parent, a cat trainer. She's a nonprofit founder and president. She's a foodie, a wine snob, and a world traveler. She is a fitness fanatic who is obsessed with pickleball. She was born and raised in New Jersey. She's wife to Scott, cat mom to Henry West Jameson, and their newest addition, Desmond Q. Williams. She is the cat lady behind Mission Meow. She is Sally Williams. Welcome, Sally. It's so good to have you on the show again.
It's so good to see you. Thank you for having me back as a guest. The timing couldn't be more perfect.
Yes, we have a lot to celebrate this month. Mission Meow turns 2.
You believe years have gone by, considering how much we've accomplished. It seems like.
I know, really. It's only been 2 years, and Mission Meow is one of the most powerful nonprofits in the cat space. You've brought so many amazing people together to do such amazing things. We're going to dig into all of that. But before we do, I want to introduce our drinking game today. So anybody at home participating in our drinking game, anytime you hear this word, take a drink of whatever you're enjoying. But please be over 21 in the U.S. to partake. Never drink and drive, and always drink responsibly. So Sally, you are crazy busy preparing for a bunch of shows, playing pickleball, running a nonprofit. What are you joining us with today?
Sadly, I have to say right now, I am not playing pickleball. I have a torn rotator from playing pickleball. So,
oh boy,
now gives me even more time for Mission Meow because that little escape for 2 hours here and there is no longer happening. So I am all in on Mission Meow, which is perfect timing because of the 2-year anniversary.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
Yeah.
But you do you still work at the pickleball studio?
Lifetime Fitness in the pickleball center, and as per my physical therapist, for those pickleballers out there, I am still allowed to dink and to do my third shot drops because I'm not doing any overhead motion. So I'm still doing that. And to be perfectly honest, I had never explored the rest of the gym, and now I am doing that. So the lower half of my body is now getting that my upper half of the body used to get. So I'm going to be more balanced.
There is nothing worse than a shoulder injury. I have suffered from shoulder injuries, and they can really impact everything you do. I remember trying to travel with a shoulder injury and be like, how am I going to put my bag in the overhead compartment?
I just did that. I had to get help. It was for a convention. I had to go to CatCon like this. I had to ship stuff versus bringing a second large bag. Like it affects, you wouldn't think it would affect the cat world. Reaching for just my heavier bag of cat food was a problem. I can now do that. But it affects both cats and pickleball. It does not, however, affect Mission Meow in any big way because that is a lot of this, a lot of this.
And a lot of tea drinking.
Yes, yeah, tea. Yep.
Well, you have the cutest little the little mug that you're drinking out of. It's cats doing like gymnastic cat poses.
Yeah, it's like yoga, cat yoga, and the thing is, I would tell you, CCLC, and I'm blanking on, they're on Instagram. She does the most amazing mugs. I will make sure I get that to you so we can tell you who this is because the cat stuff is to die for. I have
so cute
from them, 3, and they're beautiful. I mean, they
really are.
They made so.
And so you are busy looking forward to what's coming from Mission Meow. But I kind of want to ease into our show today by doing a year in review, so to speak.
Okay.
But it's obviously a 2-year in review where I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you some questions as I sip on my margarita here. As I sip.
Lucky duck.
I know you have your tea. I'll drink my margarita. And I'm going to ask you just a couple of things for you to kind of go down memory lane with us about the last 2 years running Mission Meow. Are you ready to play? Yes. Okay. Of all the giveaways you've done on social media, which has been your favorite?
Oh, geez. Of all the giveaways that we've done, I guess it would be last year was our first like mega giveaway where we had a bunch of different business partners. And the reason why I say it is because it was for the Giving Tree. And Marlin Giving Tree is so special to me that the giveaway, like so our business partners are the ones that donate the merchandise that we give away. So all of them mean a lot to me because our business partners are the lifeblood, the foundation of the organization. But the Giving Tree, because it was multiples, one winner won a huge grand prize. We raised so much money for this tree, and the tree is so special to me. So it has to be that.
Yes, I remember you mentioning it. So Sally has been on the show before. If you want to dig into what Mission Meow is all about, we're going to talk about it today. But if you want to go even deeper and what inspired her to do it and how she started this whole process, check out that video. It is in the feed, and I will put a link right here for those of you who are watching on YouTube so you can check out the video. Okay, the largest project that Mission Meow has funded in the past 2 years, which was it?
It was about $17,000, but no. All right, so no. So technically, so that was one, but here's another. So the last one that we funded, we had to get a little creative here because they applied for a grant of $14,500, but there was a lot of like plumbing, electric, all that stuff. And I'm like, if your dream could come true and you could get more, because it was for a clinic. I'm like, we want to get you more of the meaty stuff inside, the exam tables, incubators, oxygen, like what would it take? And so they gave us an amount, and I was like, okay. I reached out to one of our donors who happens to be in construction and got a really good deal on flooring. So they got $5,000 worth of flooring donated, and then we contributed the $14,500. So technically that's our biggest because it wouldn't have been together. So it was over $20,000 to this one nonprofit called For the Love of a Paw in Ellery, South Carolina, that will now be building out a clinic to take care of their cats, which to me is just, I can't say
amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Okay. How about the hardest project to make happen? Has there been one that just like felt like it took forever to come to fruition?
So our first one was really the most challenging, which was to Catsbury Park, because not on them at all. They had all their ducks in a row, but towns can be tough and permits can be tough. And you just have to be patient. You're going to get there. But funnily enough, it was the first one because it just takes a longer time for things to get approved and approved and approved. So that would, ironically, the first one. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it taught you a lot.
Oh, yeah.
What about your favorite part of the job?
It's really hard, but I guess when I get to present the checks in person, because I love I feel so lucky. I really truly love everything I do, but to be there is completely different. To palpably feel that energy, to give them the hugs, to share the tears of joy in person, to see the pride when they're showing you what they've done so far. And so I have to say, being there, and it's not really like, oh, I get to give them, it's not about that. It's more the other things that come from it, all the emotion and the pride that they have in their organizations. And I get to experience that too.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you get to know them face to face, because usually you try to present in person.
If I can't be there, we've had Lisa from Lisa Works present one. We had Kayla and Nick from Surfer Cat present another. So if I can't be there, we try to get a business partner or a donor or a volunteer, somebody in the organization. And worst case scenario, and it's still fun, we Zoom and do the whole thing, and we still get the tears. We still, like, one of us usually, yes! I'm going to say it because it happens almost every time. If we're Zooming Jen Glick from Volana Cote, she cannot help herself. She's a public.
I'd be like that.
Now we try. Now that's our goal. What do we have to do to get Jen to weep?
I am actually a crier, so that would get me too. All right, the least favorite part of the job. What task as president of a nonprofit would you delegate like this if you could?
You know what I just don't like? I don't spending so much screen time. Like I would rather be talking to people in person if we could somehow do that. Like we need Star Trek technology just to be able to beam ourselves places, because being in front of the screen all the time, it just takes a toll on you, and
For sure.
older our eyes just, so that's really it, because I can't think of anything else. Like I really, really am so lucky that I love what I do. But sometimes at the end of the day, I'm like, good Lord, just
yes.
like shut it down.
As a writer, I totally hear that. So what is the biggest accomplishment that you can say Mission Meow has achieved in the past 2 years?
I think it's the number of grants that we gave. I mean, we're not even at October, and we've already, think of it, we give quarterly, right? So it's not every month. And we've given 12 grants, and it's almost $110,000. So I think for a startup nonprofit in their first 2 years, I think that's pretty impressive. And the other thing I think is, look at our board, go to our website and see the people that have signed on. That makes me so proud to see so many accomplished people. That's not about me. That's about Mission Meow and the work we're doing, that they say, we believe in this, we want to give our time and be on the board. If you look at those names, you're just like, wow, like,
yes.
Clearly Mission Meow is doing something right to have these people on the board, because they're all amazing. So that would be, another part that I'm really so proud of.
Okay. And how about the biggest lesson to wrap this up? What have you learned, maybe the hard way, maybe a surprising part of this that you didn't see going in?
I think the biggest thing for me is, it's hard because it's always better in person, to talk to people about Mission Meow, to really get them to feel the passion. The whole email thing is such a struggle for me. So that's like a really, how do I get past that hurdle of making that emotion come through, getting them to really feel what I'm feeling, because it's not the same like this.
No.
And people say it all the time when we meet at conventions and I get to talk to people, like, wow, and they get to see the booth and see everything. Like, I wish there was a way that we could just get in their heads and get all that to them, because technology is wonderful. And it certainly beats snail mail for doing everything I do. But I wish I could sit in a room with everybody. That's probably my frustration, is I wish this could always all happen in person. I just think it's always better.
Well, I do think you and I met in person. Like, I didn't really know about you. You didn't really know about me until we met in Vegas in Super Zoo. Yeah, and it was just like an instant connection. You have a really great energy that I feel like obviously over email is impossible to convey. Also because we're competing with all the other emails people get every day. So it's like, even if your email is super energetic and super enthusiastic, it's like people are just burnt out by email. So I agree, being in person makes people recognize just that there's like a genuine commitment, and there's an authenticity to the mission and the connection that you have to the mission, obviously. And people want to invest in a mission that somebody really is enthusiastic about, right? Like, I don't want to half-assed email convincing me to donate to something. That's not going to get me excited, or it's not going to help me dig into my pockets.
And I will say, not every business is going to get what we're doing, or for whatever reason. But I think we're driven by, we do everything the right way. We have our attorneys, we have our, we have our board members, everybody's accountable. We have our secretary, our treasurer, the things that you all need to have. But I think that one thing that really makes us different is it really is all led by the heart. And it's important for me to keep it feeling like a family, no matter how big we get. You're a business partner. I always want to be communicating with you to make you feel like you personally know me, that you have that connection. And whether it's a business partner, a volunteer, a board member, a donor, I just want everybody to feel like we are a part of this wild and crazy Mission Meow family that's just got the hugest heart. That's really what I want people to feel. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, we need money to keep going, all those things, but that comes when I think that the authenticity of what we really are comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so for those that didn't catch you on the first interview and aren't familiar with Mission Meow, can you quickly tell us how it works?
So it works in a unique way, and it's like a plane and there's two wings, kind of. So the foundation of the organization, we like to say, are the business partners, who these are businesses that might be in the cat world, or you love cats and you own a business. And the businesses agree to support our quarterly grant campaigns. Most of them given that quarter, some who just don't want to have to think about it, set it up for monthly recurring donations, and then we remember what quarter everything goes in. But for the most part, it's, they give quarterly so that we can give grants quarterly. And, that's the fastest way, because the way I explained it in the beginning was always, if we had 50 business partners before, now we have more, if we have 50 business partners averaging a $200 donation, that's $10,000 before we've done anything. And we have, we get PayPal giving, we get out of the blue, just other organizations that support us. And then the other wing to the plane are our individual donors. And some of them, I am so grateful, followed me from the Brodie Fund and came with, and others found us through, social media or a magazine article or word of mouth. And so to keep our plane flying, we need those two wings. But donors, some will donate because of that month, whatever, TNR really resonates with them. And then maybe the next time, whatever we're deciding, maybe it's not TNR and that's what they love. Maybe they don't donate that. So there's a fluctuation in those donors coming and going, where the business partners are just solidly there all the
Yes.
time.
Perfect.
So, but we need both wings of that plane to keep the Mission Meow plane flying. So,
Right, of course. And what kind of projects do you fund? Because I know you don't do rent and things like that. It has to be projects that people are envisioning.
yeah. Yeah, projects are a large purchase. So nothing, because our organizations, the big thing you worry about is you don't want to give a lot of money and then see an organization go away because they weren't fiscally responsible. So they
Right.
need to be paying their rent, their vet bills, food, litter, all the basics. The cats need to be getting very well cared for. It's just that because we only give to small nonprofits, they don't have the bandwidth to have a big capital campaign, and that's where we can step in. So, one of our grants that I just talked about for the Love of Paw was building a clinic. Another one launched a foster program. We've had a couple that have expanded TNR, which doesn't sound flashy, but it's hugely important when you're a small TNR group and you see the overpopulation happening in your town, county, city around you, and you can't do it because you're trying to borrow traps and all the things that you need. And now all of a sudden you just got an influx of $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 worth of what you need. Then there's life-saving things like incubators, oxygen, nebulizers, vaccines, things like that. And there's expansions and renovations. And one thing we haven't done yet, and I'm sure it will happen as we get bigger, I've always wanted to give a van to somebody. So in TNR, because most of these predominantly women, men and women now, are driving their own vehicles and they're taking a beating, and it's
Yes.
all less efficient, right? So that's something that I always think of in my head of what we would like to give. But I'm sure there's lots of projects out there that we haven't thought of, that are going to come.
You did do a catio, didn't you? At least one that I remember.
Yeah. So there are, and I'm trying to think of other things that like just what I really want. And I'm doing 2 ribbon cuttings coming up. That's going to be my favorite part of things. So you can have all these wonderful things, but if people can't really see them, right? So by the end of the year for Love of the Paw, they plan to have the clinic open. So I'm going to go for a ribbon cutting for that to open our very first clinic.
So cool.
At the end of October, when I wrap up convention month, I'm going to be driving from one side of Florida to the other, going to the Runaways Animal Rescue because they were able to put in all new, beautiful mid-mark cubbies, which then gets rid of all those old metal cages. So no more like trying to get that door open and the loud noises. They're easier to clean. The cats are happier. The volunteers are happier. They look stunning. If you haven't seen them, go to our social media pages because they look beautiful. So I'm going to go down there and do a ribbon cutting, even though they're already in. I haven't really get there yet. So we're going to just fashion the ribbon cutting and celebrate it. And I get to see them for the first time. I'm so excited. And Danny can't say enough about what they've done for their organization. So just a huge game changer for, in this case, both the humans and the cats.
Right, exactly. Well, we got to take a break right here, but when we come back, I'm actually going to dig into what it is like to be a nonprofit founder, to run an operation like this. So when we come back, we're going to play a game about the hopes and dreams that you have for Mission Meow and what it's like to be its central member, central operating person. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with Sally Williams. Welcome back to Covered in Pet Hair. I'm your host, Isabel Alvarez-Arata, and today I'm speaking with Sally Williams, the president and founder of Mission Meow. I am a very proud business partner in Mission Meow. Mission Meow is celebrating its 2-year anniversary, but you wouldn't know that because it's so influential and it's so successful, and it's only been around 2 years because of this one person that's at the helm, Sally Williams. She is rocking and rolling, helping the cats, helping the people, bringing funding from business partners to organizations that need help, either expanding, renovating, getting more materials, getting a vet clinic set up, helping animals in a million ways, all cats, of course. And I wanted to ask you, Sally, if you would do me a favor and play a little game I call Mission Meow Hopes and Dreams. And I'm going to give you 1 minute on my handy dandy clock. And I just want you to tell me at this moment in time, celebrating your 2-year anniversary, what you have in your heart for the next 2 years. Are you ready to play?
Holy moly. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so starting right now, our goal for the end of the year is to have 100 business partners. So I want to keep doing that for each year. So next year, 100 more, 100 more after that. The goal with that is that we tend to give 1 grant a month. Now we've also given 3 grants a month. So my goal is we're never going to expand to monthly, too exhausting. We're going to keep it quarterly, but my goal is to keep increasing the number of grants and the size of the grants. So getting that reach for our business partners, getting that reach so we can give larger grants. I want to be as many ribbon cuttings as I can be at. So really, we just want to take over the world and change the lives of the cats and the humans at small feline-centric nonprofits all across the U.S.
That was perfect. That was exactly 1 minute. Good job. That's amazing. I love that you have almost 100 business partners. How many do you need to like close out the year with 100?
So as of right now, we have 67, but think about this. We have October, November, and December. We will be at 3 conventions in October. So to go back to saying being in person, we are going to be in person. I'm also signed on Dr. Elsie's yesterday. Today we signed in and we're going to be announcing. So by the time you hear this, you will have heard Stacko Cats, this amazing new game that's coming out. They just signed on.
Cool.
It's so fun. So this game, amazing. And I'm talking to so many other people. So we are on a roll here, but we are always looking. We could break the 100, I mean, that's not a we can bring on more than 100 business partners. So if businesses are interested, you just go to the website, missionmeow.org, click on business partners. You can be one. You just have to love cats. That's really
exactly. Yes, absolutely. Okay. So I want to know what it's like to be a founder, president of a nonprofit like this one. So would you mind describing to us what a day in the life of Mission Meow's president looks like?
Oh my gosh, I wear all the hats.
Yes.
So I'm making the calls to bring in new business partners. I'm following up with businesses. I am talking to longtime business partners. I am emailing our donors regularly just to stay in touch. I write the newsletters, every email that comes out. I do podcasts. I'm being interviewed regularly. I am, oh my gosh, planning for conventions. I'm the one who orders the merchandise for all of that. I'm the one who
Ooh,
decides what the table's going to look like. Any graphics that you see, I'm working in conjunction with the people that are doing that. We're putting out, we just had a t-shirt contest. So I got somebody to design the t-shirt, but then I'm the one who has to do all the follow through on that. So anything that you can think of. I mean, I spend my entire day thinking about cats, thinking about the people that care for them. How can we make their lives better? What can we add to Mission Meow? Like we're updating our website, adding all new stuff there. It's every single aspect that you can imagine. If you're looking at something that has to do with Mission Meow, okay, so a t-shirt, I've had something to do with that. The website, I've had something to do with that. The social media, minus 2 posts a week, all of that is mine. So just like anything that you can think of, I have my hands in. My goal is to not. There's another goal for the next 2 years is to be able to delegate more. But in the beginning, this is pretty normal. This
yes.
is normal running of a nonprofit. And then I will say this, I do not have founder's syndrome. If there's somebody out there that's like, I can take Mission Meow stratospheric, I have been working in nonprofits for 30 years. I think they're fabulous. That's great. You know what? I will always be the founder. I will always be the face of. If Mission Meow for it to grow ever meant me stepping aside and being on the board, I am all for it because it is not about me. It's truly about Mission Meow and our growth and how do we get there. So there's a lot of possibilities out there. I wouldn't say it wouldn't be hard because this is my baby, but
Yes.
it's more important that it's not about me. It's about Mission Meow. So maybe someday there'll be another face involved that, when we're just this massive organization.
Well, what is it like working with the board members? So somebody who's never worked in nonprofit may not know what the point of the board members is, what kind of influence they have, what kind of decision making they're part of. So give us a little quick rundown on what the board members do for the
I mean,
organization.
I ultimately don't make the decisions. The board does. So anything that you see that's being decided, it's a board decision, minus like they don't need to approve a t-shirt design on a contest, but any of the major decisions, those are constructed and improved by our board. So making decisions about, who we're going to help, the decisions like what we talked about earlier, we're not going to pay for vet bills, those kinds of things. Um, any kind of changes you would make to bylaws and all the nitty gritty stuff. That's what happens.
Yes.
But I do not make decisions. They are board decisions. And that's what happens. You have regular board meetings. You discuss any changes you want to make. People brainstorm ideas, ways we want to improve. How do we grow? All that stuff. But everything relies on your board approving it. It's not, we can say it's a one-woman show because I do a lot of the day-to-day work, but ultimately it's the board that moves Mission Meow forward.
Amazing. And I heard you
You
recently
have to
updated your
like people. You cannot just love cats. You have to like working with people.
aha. Yes, a lot of people go into this industry, pet industry, thinking they don't have to speak with people, but the people are the people. The people have the influence and the money and the
Every
power to
way
get things done.
form.
Exactly.
If you're in the nonprofit part of it or the rescue part of it, you have to be able to work with people.
Oh yeah, I have so many colleagues in the pet sitting industry, dog training industry, pet grooming industry, and I'm like, who did you think was going to be like driving them to your facility, or whose
Yep.
house did you think you were going to be like going to pick up the dog for a dog walk? It's a person behind that. Yes, you have to get along with the
You
people.
have to.
I have a question about your new mission statement. So, how long you came up with a new mission statement? I hear, and how is that
Did
process? What does it look like? How do you get everybody on the same page to agree on a mission statement?
it's everybody's throwing in their best ideas and then you decide on one. And thank goodness a lot. Like You start with, I mean, we use ChatGPT for some of this, right? And it helps you tweak some words because I get stuck on using the same old words. We're amazing, we're wonderful, we're incredible. It really came about when there was nothing wrong with our first mission statement. And I'm not going to say what our new one is because I want to tell people, go to the website. You can see what's up
Yes.
there now. And then the beginning of October, you're going to see the new one. And we think what it really does is it's hard to, in one sentence, really say what you're all about. Try to do that. And we really feel like this new one does a better job of that. It's still saying what we do, but it does it in a way that's maybe a little bit more inspiring and gets to the heart of what we do. So they're going to have to check it out when it gets launched.
So is the current mission statement together creating meaningful change for feline-centric nonprofits?
That is the original statement.
Got it. Okay.
So the new one will go up. So we're revamping the website just to make it more clear, more easy to use. We also found new statistics that we find are really important that people in the cat world need to know, that are more specific to felines that are going up there. I just filmed a new explainer video from an award-winning organization. And so it won't be a cartoon up there anymore. It's going to be my voiceover, a little bit of images of me and pictures of our grants and what we've done. I cannot wait for people to see this. The business partners page is going to completely change. So it's much more visual. We are really excited for this relaunch.
Well, what's funny is I thought you did a great job the first time. So for those who aren't familiar with the website, I've always been impressed. I've always thought it was great, but I know that you have a relentless pursuit of excellence here. Like that is the way I would describe you, is you're really always trying to be.
It really, this is where a board stepped in. A board member said, I kind of feel like, we've had this look for a while. There's a few things I'd like to point out. And at first I was like, oh, ouch. Like, that was my baby. But when you really think about things, I was like, you know what? You're right. We could do better. And so it's going to look incredible. The basics are going to be the same. So people will still be able to navigate around. You'll still be able to find things like you need for, to apply for a grant and things like that, or we have a monthly mentorship program now that I don't think a lot of people know about. It's on the website. I try to talk about it a lot, but that's something we do every single month. So people, you can talk to an expert in the shelter world, the TNR world, or the foster world. And we're talking amazing, amazing people. And we do this every month. You can apply, and we pick one in each, and you get a 1-hour Zoom and then follow-ups with these mentors. I mean, Sterling Davis and Aaron Leite for TNR, Samantha Bell from Best Friends for foster, and Melissa Dunay from Love Your Feral Felines in shelter. These people are unbelievable experts in their field. I cannot say enough. So definitely look for that, because that's something that happened after, I was thinking, I'm going to do something every month. Just because why not, right?
Because I don't have enough to do, so I'm going to do something else. But it is a really good thing you did. So I'm all about that. It really is so important to learn from those who've been in those shoes before, who've troubleshooted it themselves. Really, when you think about the holistic perspective of the organization, preventing issues that you later have to help fund the fix of is a really good idea. It's a really good holistic approach to helping people in every stage of their organization.
I've had mentors. I mean, I still look for people who are doing things better, bigger than I am, and I want to talk to them. It's kind of like in pickleball. You always want to play the better people because it gets your game better. Like, I want to talk to the people who are doing things or doing them in a different way, or it's interesting, or just something. I always want to be learning, and I felt it was the same for everybody. So
yeah, that's absolutely. So what other amazing things do you have on the horizon?
Well, we've been talking about all these super fun things we're doing for October, and one of them has been a well-kept secret that's going to be coming out soon. So our logo, which you saw on the denim jacket and behind us, is just a face. He or she needs a body. So the amazing Lisa from Lisa Works is creating a full-on mascot for us. I have seen the early renderings. It's going to be, I don't want to say he or she because I don't want to influence anybody, because we are going to have a name the mascot contest.
Oh my God, I love it so much. That cat gives me male vibes, but
Me too, but I don't want to say that, and might even more when you see what's coming, but I'm open to
exactly.
anything. But so imagine the stickers, and the first thing I'm doing is we're going to have little selfie sticks of our full body so we can take photos with, hashtag Mission Meow. I'm so excited. The opportunities that will come from having a whole body.
Yes.
I actually told Brian from Frame Your Feline, if my dream comes true and we can get the money for somebody to donate a full body costume, which are very expensive, and it would need to
Yes.
be conditioned to put Brian in there, little fan. He said he would wear it. He would wear it at a show if we get this costume.
He would be
So,
perfect. He would be
right?
perfect for that. Yes. Ideal,
So,
ideal candidate. I vote him in.
so people need to keep their eyes on social because it's coming.
I think that's a great way to leave this. How does my audience learn more about Mission
Oh,
Meow?
well,
How do the business partners that are interested in helping you reach 100 get in touch? Tell me everything.
we're going to say two things. First off, you go to missionmeow.org. That's where you're going to find everything. You can find us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, when I can make that happen. But I will say, if you want to meet us in person, October is our 2-year anniversary, and we're going to 3 shows. So come meet us in person. So the
Okay,
first
tell us the shows.
Yeah, the first weekend of October is in New Jersey. It's Catsbury Park is back again with the Catsbury Convention. Very exciting. October 5th, if I'm not mistaken, that's the Saturday, first Saturday of the month.
Yes.
Then the following weekend, you and I are going to see each other at the CFA Cat Show and Expo, which is the Cat Fanciers Association. It is a massive show. We were there last year, incredible, met so many people, businesses. You get to see really cool cats, and then you do a little shopping, and then you can get an education there. And also the academy is taking place underneath us. So all the best people that you would want to learn from if you're interested in rescue, all happening at the same time. Then I take a breath, relax for a little bit, and then I go the last weekend in October to Florida, to the Cocoa Beach area for Space Cats, a first time. This is being put on by the amazing woman behind Lisa Works, Lisa Hernandez. And we are so excited. There's so much buzz about this show because she's so incredible. So many Mission Meow people are going to be there, but look up Space Cats, people. It's going to be really fun. And I have to say, we're so excited that conventions are coming back to the East Coast again. I mean, I go to CatCon in LA, I go to Cleveland, and I love it, but everything was out there. And it's like, finally, like I can just spend a little time closer to home and still go to amazing shows. So that is where, go to the website to learn about us right now. The day-to-day stuff is always on our social media. Ooh, but on our website, you can get newsletter, sign up for the newsletter so you can get
Yes.
all the cool stuff. But then come see us in person and support these shows, because these conventions are incredible. I mean, there's education, there's cats, there's vendors. I always leave space in my luggage because I know I'm coming home with stuff.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And how
Yeah.
do I get one of those amazing embroidered denim jackets with the Mission Meow logo on it? Like where do we buy those? Or is that just for
I am the
the
only
founder?
one that has that right now. However, I will say that the idea for that came with the Brodie Fund, because I had so many incredible people working and volunteering for the organization. So we started doing jacketing ceremonies. It already crossed my mind because it was one of my favorite things with the Brodie Fund, to honor people that have done work that, went above and beyond. And there's so many. And I mean,
I love it so
there
much.
you
I love the idea of a jacketing ceremony too. That's such a great idea.
Right. I mean, it's a little bit different. It's a little harder now because the first nonprofit I had events here and my board was local.
Right.
I travel enough and I see people enough. And worst case, we send it and we Zoom jacket them. So there's always right. There's a way to make it happen. So yeah.
I love that so much. I want to propose a toast to you for being so amazing, for being a leader in this space, for really revolutionizing nonprofit in the cat space. Congratulations. Happy anniversary, Mission Meow. Here's to many more. I can't wait to see what's coming.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I also want to propose a toast to our executive producer, Mark Winter. Thank you, Mark, for making this show possible. And to our audience, again, for making this show possible. Thanks for joining us for these awesome conversations. Please support all of our guests. Please support all of their endeavors, all the nonprofits that they support, so we can all build a community right through here. Here's to a life covered in pet hair, because there's no better way to live. Cheers. To learn more about Covered in Pet Hair, please visit coveredinpethair.com or petliferadio.com. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and rate us on your favorite podcasting platform so we can get these amazing conversations out to more pet lovers just like you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.